A lot of times, since people can't find them outside, they'll set them inside, which is kind of disturbing because, you know, they're in your kitchen, you set up one, all of a sudden you have lots of them in the kitchen, you know, going after that food. You know, it's like, oh, the floor is moving. And so that's kind of hard to do. You know, so if you have a garage, you put them out in there, or usually if you place them outside around the house, they will take it back underneath there. And what I do is I cover them with rocks. Put them right next to the house, cover them with rocks, put a lot of honey everywhere, let them know it's there. They will go and eat it as a source of food. And then you change it to a boric acid solution. And you'll know it because one day you won't have any ants in the house anymore. And then you have this short window because another ant will show up and put a vacancy sign in your front of your house. So other ant colonies will go, oh, time to move in there, because they will fill in the vacancy. So what you have to do is as soon as you know, you can tell because all of a sudden you don't have any ants. But so you need to continue with that because when new ants move in, that's the first thing that they're going to go for. See? And it's, yeah, you do need to do this for the rest of your life because as soon as you stop feeding the ants, the population will build back up again and they'll start all over again doing whatever it is that you don't want them to do. You know, I have about 10 to 15 kids that are in part of my club, and that's just what they do. They charge. I used to charge 25 cents an ant treatment. You don't want to know what I charge now. I charge a lot more than 25 cents an ant treatment. But I teach these kids how to do the ant treatments because they can do it themselves. You know, easy to do. The younger they are, the less I tell them about the boric acid, and the more I show them how to spray. Yeah, they spray the Dr. Bronner soap so the little heart's content, you know, out there spraying the soap. Or the citron. Try to give them something that don't hurt themselves because, you know, kids will tend to stick things in their eyes and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I used to give them fish emulsion to spray. You don't want to do that. They come home smelling.
So the boric acid, can you get that on your hands?
Boric acid, you can get it on your hands. You just have to remember that you shouldn't get it if you have a cut because it will absorb through your body. Boric acid you can buy as an eye wash. Use it as an eye wash. You see, that's what it's sold as an eye wash. But it's very weak. The boric acid you buy in the store is 100% boric acid. It is a poison. You're not supposed to be breathing it in. You're not supposed to be, you know, doing anything with it other than using it. So a lot of people don't tend to use that. The older you are, the more sensitive the chemical was. You can buy it already made in the stores, 5%, diluted down to 1%. Really easy. Sometimes you can just add water to it to bring it up to that 1%. But that's what you have to do. You have to feed the ants, learn to use the different sprays, the citrus and stuff that will kill them. But the ant is the only way that you can control them. And I teach this to professional pest control people because they're used to, it's cheaper, see, to spray a chemical. Costs them pennies. And it's good because they have to come back on a regular basis to do it. But if you tell them, I want a bait, costs them a little more, but it's more effective to use and they don't have to come back as much. But you can do that yourself. It's a bait system. It's perfectly okay to do that. You just have to find, what I do is I buy different sources of the liquid. There are 4 or 5 different companies. They all have different formulations. That means they have different sources of sugar in their bait product, the 5% bait product, you see. So when you buy the different ones, and that works too. You dilute it to 1% and use it that way. But if you're like me, you buy the boric acid, make the mixture, you make a whole batch of it, and you can use it like, you know, keep using it, okay? And this is the first chapter of my book. It's called Dances with Ants. All of it is in here as to how to mix it. Some formulations. Plus, it's up on the website because I add new things up all the time to it. Okay, there's a new product now called Ants No More, and what they did was they took boric acid and they made it into little capsules, so that the ants can take it back to the colony. By the time the capsule breaks down, they got the boric acid. They're starting to learn how to take things back to the colony because chemically, that's what they do. You know, all these chemicals. They have a lot of chemical baits now. You know, everybody, these little ant things, they take it back to their colony. It's a chemical that they take back to their colony. But unfortunately, the chemical, you're breathing it in. It ends up in the air. You have little bits of particles in the air. After many years, your body has it in your blood. And then try to prove it that was them. You could never do it. Even if you're a billionaire, you can take them to court. You still will lose. Everywhere in the world, chemicals are dangerous and they have to be proven safe. In the United States, they're safe and you have to prove them dangerous. And now, like I said, people are finding it in your blood. Well, it's not ours that did that. Yeah, the chemical's in your blood, but prove that it was ours. You can't. Okay, so are we done with the ants? Any more questions?